what's up, guys? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today, I just want to do a quick shout-out video. And this isn't a shout-out to any one particular person. It's shout-out to everybody, all of you guys. I just reached the 7,000 mark of subscribers. And to some people, that might be just like, to some people, they could cover that in a day. You know, I gained 7,000 today. Well, you know, to me, it's not. I'm kind of small still, and I'm growing, and I'm growing slowly, but I am growing, and every single one of you means a lot to me. You know, when I'm only gaining 2 or 3 subs per day, I see every single sub that comes in, and it's like, and every one of you means like a ton to me. And I just wanted to jump in and really give a shout out and a thank you to everybody, because I wouldn't be here without the subscribers. I would just be wasting my time if it weren't for the subscribers. And some of them are and some of them interact. Some of them they're actually doing stuff, and we're actually, like I said, we're growing, and we're growing faster and faster as the channel gets bigger. You know, we're growing. It's still growing slowly, but just this time last year, I was probably in the 5,000 range, somewhere in there. So you can see I've grown quite a bit just over the last year. I mean, by the end of 24 was 6,000 subscribers, and here I am at 7 now. So we're actually growing. We're accomplishing our goals, and we're doing awesome. But anyway, kind of the history of the channel. I started it out as kind of like a small engine repair and kind of like a how-to DIY, because I know how the economy can be, and sometimes it's hard to actually take your stuff to a mechanic and have it worked on. So I figured I'll do some videos so people can, because it's really not as hard as you think, especially on small engines. They're easy. They're really easy to work on. They're a lot easier than you think. Some people are just intimidated because it's a 2-stroke or whatever, but they're really not that hard to work on. So I figured, you know, people can do this themselves. They don't need to go in there and pay shop rates to have this done. We're, you know, paying an hour, half hour to an hour labor for something that takes 5-10 minutes. I mean, some things are a little bit more complex than that, but anyway, that's what I started the channel on, was small engine repairs. Then I started throwing in a little bit of automotive repairs and some around the house DIY. And then I kind of started, like, you know, I was changing jobs, and some jobs wouldn't let me record, and I was renting, so I didn't want to do a whole lot of repairs at the house. So I kind of changed the thing. And once about the COVID really hit in, I started really getting into the preparedness thing, and that's kind of, I kind of turned my channel towards preparedness, being prepared for, you know, disasters, being prepared, you know, just stockpiling stuff, and, you know, some of that type of things. And so I kind of went into that, and I still do that. That's kind of more what the channel is. It's more of a preparedness, hence the term Poor Man Preparedness. And also, Poor Man is based on, I don't make a lot of money, you know, especially in this economy. So I try to do things as on a budget as possible, because you see some of these people, they come in and you got to have the best, and they're showing you this, you got to have these guns, and they're like thousands of dollars of guns, and it's like some of us can't afford that. And this equipment, these highest end knives, and this high end, these nods and helmets, and we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars, and not all of us can afford that. So I went kind of on a poor man, because, you know, a lot of us in this prepper community are not that well off, and we can't just go out and afford the best, highest end stuff. So we got to make do with what we can. And that's kind of where I've been kind of going with this channel. Then I started getting into a little bit of politics. I know that kind of, some people might steer off of that because of the political views that I have, but that's politics. That's the price I took for starting to talk about politics. I knew that was going to happen. I knew some people were going to stick around and stay because of my political beliefs, but some were going to leave. But that's fine. I mean, that's kind of what it is. I shouldn't change who I am just because other people have different views. And so that's kind of where the channel's been going. And I've been trying to put on videos like every day. I've been trying to mix it around, do some some reviews and some prepper stuff, and tactical talking, and stuff like that, and actually do some reviews, so I'm not just talking at the camera, as well as some political stuff. And I've been trying to put videos on every day. Sometimes I can't get to that point, but I've been trying to do that. We've been since I've been growing, and it seems like the more videos I put on, the faster we grow. So I was like, let's try and do this. And I have to do this as a side gig kind of still, because I still work full time, which makes it difficult because I don't really have a lot of the time for it. So I put a few things in, and I'll batch my videos. I'll go on like a weekend when I'm not working. I'll make like all the videos for the week. All right, I gotta make videos for the whole week. Oh, excuse me, I gotta turn this corner here. This little thing doesn't stay very well in this car. I'm on a little test drive in a car, so it doesn't stay very good. So I kind of have to hold it, and turning these corners makes it want to fall off. So you'll have to forgive me on that. But like I said, 7,000 subscribers. That's a heck of a lot to me. In fact, I've cleared that, and we're starting to grow even more. So now my goal for this year, and we're in June. We're June 7th, 8th, 9th, June 9th. We're on June 9th today, 2025. Now my goal for this year on this one at this moment is to try and hit that 8,000. Try and hit 8. Try and get another 1,000 before the year is over. It's doable. And I know I do a lot of shorts, and sometimes shorts get more subscribers, but they're not like the loyal subscribers. Most of the loyal ones come from the long form videos. The ones that are going to stick around and actually watch my content are some of the longer form videos. And I've been trying to mix in a little. I try to do at least one of each every day, kind of to keep both of my audiences growing. And there's reasons for it. But again, I appreciate everybody. But anyway, back to the topic of my channel. But since I've started getting into preparedness and political views and stuff, I mean, I know that DIY and repair stuff, I know that can be related to preparedness, because preparedness, you want to, especially on a budget, you've got to have all your equipment run. You've got to have the knowledge to fix things if the grid goes down, or the worst case scenario, SHTF ever happens. You need to be able to fix your stuff. So that does kind of play in part, but I've also started to kind of funnel it out of this channel and starting a new channel. So if you're interested in that, the links will be below to my other channels. So if you're interested in watching those, I am kind of taking them off of this channel and funneling them into another channel, as well as try to do more on that channel as well. Hang on, got another corner to turn here. We'll see if I can do it without harassing my phone. Yep, we did it. Awesome. Okay, but anyway, links will be below to my other channels. I also do one with one of my sons. He's really into football. I was into football until kind of lately. Once politics started taking over, it started going downhill for me. But he still loves it, so we do some football talk, videos, and we'll get on and we'll talk football and stuff like that. If you're into that thing, then by all means, link will be below. And there's also some monetary links below if you feel like donating monetarily. YouTube doesn't pay us a ton. The channel is monetized, so it does pay us a little, but it doesn't pay us a ton. So if it's something that you would be interested in, that would be awesome. But like I said, no pressure to any of that. We're just trying to we're just trying to grow the channel at the moment. We're not really, we're not superstar. We're not, big timers yet. Like I said, we haven't even. We're still growing slowly, but we are growing. And again, I appreciate every single one of you. It wouldn't be possible without you. And I'm going to try and do I'm going to try and figure out how to do some giveaways or something, because I feel like you guys deserve it. And I've got a lot of crap built up that I need to get rid of. The wife's starting to hound me, and our garage is getting jam-packed full of junk, and she's got a bunch too, but I just got to start getting rid of it, because it's like, I don't need all this crap. I started I started buying into a lot of what those preppers said about you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to have, and then now I've accumulated all this junk in the process and doing gear reviews and stuff. I'll buy something and I'll review it, and then it'll just go into a box in my closet or in the garage or whatever, and then it just sits there. So I might start doing some giveaways. I'm going to start figuring out how to do that, legally and, without trying to avoid scams as much as possible and whatnot. I've been kind of researching that a little bit. But anyway, video's getting a little long. I'm starting to ramble. I wanted to do just a quick shout out video, but so anyway, I appreciate every single one of you. If nothing else, do the YouTube stuff down below. If you haven't already subscribed, like the video, comment, you know the drill. And check out my other videos, see if you're interested in what I have, and if you like it, cool, let's grow together, let's be a family. Let's be whatever we want to call ourselves, poor man's nation or whatever, I don't even care. Let's grow together, let's be family, let's do the things, let's be prepared for whenever. And just always remember, the world is getting crazy, and we need to keep ourselves protected. Carry whatever you can legally, the most effective tool you can carry legally that can protect you and those around you, and stay aware of your environment. Have situational awareness. That's the most important thing. Know when to walk, know when to get away, know when to leave. With what's been going on at the time of this recording, there's those LA riots going on, or protests is what they're called, I guess. But best way to avoid it is not be there. Best way to escape and avoid is not be there. But if you do happen to be there, have situational awareness, know when to get out, know when to go, know where to go. And anyway, appreciate y'all, love you, do the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.